Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is the first time that I have actually broadcast a video. I mean, it's not live, it's pre-recorded, obviously, since my brother's weekend, and I can't thank you all enough for making him feel at home. He loves being on the broadcast. He's a member of the community. Unofficially, he's only won one fight in his life. It was against a 3-star beast. And then he retired. In the arena, basically. I just threw him at the phone and was like, hey, just try, you know? But he left his Hulk tie behind me. And I don't know if that was intentional or not. I'm going to have to call him after this and be like, do you know you left that? I'll see him in a couple weeks. With that being said, this is a very serious issue that we're going to discuss today. And it's an issue that I think sometimes is over-reported, and it's not necessarily true. I did this a couple times myself when Apple somewhat recently changed how they charge my credit card. So I'll give you a little backstory. For years, I would buy, let's say, a Thronebreaker Daily Special, the equivalent of that. Years ago, that didn't exist, obviously, but a $5 purchase, we'll just say. And then, like, within the hour, I would get an email from Apple telling me about my purchase and having it go through. But Apple's done this thing now, at least with me, and maybe it's just me, but somehow I doubt it, where they don't send me an email and charge my credit card on $5 purchases until I've spent about $25. So for 5 days worth of purchases, Apple's keeping track of those, but I just don't get charged. And all of a sudden, I'll say, you got $25 for 5 daily specials. And in your head, you're thinking, wait a minute, 5 daily specials? I just bought one today. But it's the last 5 days on the account added up together. And that equals the chance to, well, charge it once, which maybe it's cheaper for them to do that. Maybe it's cheaper to charge a credit card once for $25 than 5 times for $5. Maybe they have a credit card transaction fee every time. That's my theory. Could be totally wrong, but I know sometimes that can be true with friends who own businesses who say, at least for those businesses, and given it's not Google or Apple, that credit card charges do factor into their bottom line. So that's how much has changed on the Apple side. But we're going to discuss the Google Play side, which I've never used before, as I've always run this game on Apple devices. So y'all will have to let me know if you've seen this on Google Play. I've had somebody that I've gone back and forth with, and I was pretty skeptical of his claim, to be honest, because, you know, I hear all the time from people who say that things are happening to them, and they're either lying to me or they just don't know the real reason. Like, I had people for years who would reach out to me and say, Prof, please do a video to help me. My account's banned. And I didn't know what BlueStacks were, so I'd be like trying to understand what happened. And finally, once I learned it, I was like, did you try this illegal software? And they're like, it didn't even work. And I would say, that's irrelevant. If you walk into a bank and you try to rob the bank, and you are unsuccessful, that doesn't mean you just get to walk out with no consequence. You attempted the crime. So BR513 got this message. Looks like some purchases on your account have been refunded. These refunds are represented as a negative balance of contest credits. While your balance is negative, you will be unable to spend units or purchase special offers. To remove these restrictions, purchase contest credits. If you believe this to be an error, please contact Kabam support through the options tab. Now keep in mind, I have had so many people, and I'm sure they're out there, they just haven't contacted me. But I've had so many people who have said, okay, I will contact Kabam support with the screenshots like the ones we're about to show you. And it never works. Kabam support is like batting 1,000 with still not refunding the money. When Kabam took over the refund system, and I know it's annoying and it's kind of shady, but I don't blame them because people were quitting in droves, especially when like 6 stars were announced. They were quitting in droves, and they were filing a complaint saying that the game was broken, which, to be fair, it was. And then they were saying they wanted all their refunds back like the past could have been years. And Google Play or Apple was just granting them this. And so Kabam had no way to protect themselves against that option. Now, if you never want to play the game and you want to test it out, I guess you can do that. But what was also happening was that people were asking for refunds on, say, July 4th. They were getting them. The items were always being taken away, and then they were still continuing to play. So they really were scamming the system. Though I do understand where the anger was coming from, especially with how much the game has been broken for the past several years. And I truly believe to a certain extent it's always going to be broken going forward, which is a depressing thought to contemplate, but it is what it is. So this was screenshot number 1. Now, what I learned was not an error on my account with the $25 purchase example of the 5 daily specials, was that each daily special had its own day and its own purchase number. So I did see it was 5 separate purchases. They just waited maybe 5 days to charge my credit card. What makes this situation so unique is that the purchase on the credit card itself is the exact same transaction number. So you can see Kabam Games 855-836-3987 twice. And so, because that credit card shows both $5.34 charges, it makes it difficult to be able to dispute that it's a double charge. This represents the refund of one of the 2 charges of $39.87. So he was just trying to pay $5.34. I guess that's with the tax. Once, just not twice. But the issue is when your credit card's charged twice, and for the same transaction, Google doesn't see it that way on their end. And so in Google's defense, and even Kabam's defense, they just think the person's lying because somehow it's an error. Now, what could cause this error? Well, you can see that this summoner issued the refund because this is what pops up. Error, no internet connection. Make sure Wi-Fi or cellular data is turned on, then try again. And the summoner was quick to say, when this message doesn't pop up, it's always just one charge of the credit card. But when this error glitches, it's like something in the credit card system glitches. And I'm going to read his exact description of this in a moment when I'll hide the information. But this is not somebody who's just trying to get $5 back from Kabam. He doesn't need the $5 in terms of it's not going to be like he can't pay his rent or buy food. It's the principle of this happening to him and probably happening to a lot of people that he wants this video to be made. It's the concept, not the outcome, if that makes any sense. So, error, you already own this item. So, for some reason, it charges the credit card a second time, even though it realizes that he already bought it. The issue is, I think in a healthy system, if I'm understanding this correctly, if it knew it already owned this item, it just wouldn't charge the credit card twice. But it still is keeping that charge on his card and then not actually removing it. And that's why there's 2 charges for the same purchase number. And then contacts Google support, contacts Kabam support, and ends up with a negative $4.99 balance for the daily special. And then he is locked out and has to purchase another $5 stack of credits to even out the refund that he claimed. And he's added this description to this video request. He said, and I read, "I'm absolutely 110% positive that this is a double charge. It's gotten to the point that whenever I purchase something, the first thing I do is check my account to make sure I wasn't double charged. This is why I took a screenshot of the error code that popped up. Every time I have been double charged is when this no connection error code shows up when making a purchase. I tried to explain this to Kabam twice over the last 2 weeks. They kept telling me to reach out to Google Play support and that if I was charged a duplicate time, that Google Play would refund the difference. I just want people to know that this is happening, especially with Black Friday deals coming up. Yes, a $5.34 overcharge doesn't seem like much, but I assure you that this has cost me well over $100 in duplicate charges, and I'm sick of it. When paired with what could be thousands of players this is happening to, that is a lot of money over a long period of time. I made one purchase on the 18th that was charged twice. I showed them a pic of my account, clearly showing that the overcharge in my Google Play receipt, that they still won't bring my account back to its original standing. And then lastly, I've spent well over $3,000 on my account, probably closer to $5,000 over the last 4 years, and I've never, ever asked for a refund of any sort, nor complained in any way, and this is all over $5.34. They can clearly see all my purchases and see that I purchased the daily almost every day since Thronebreaker Daily tickets were introduced. And I know I'm going to have to break down and purchase the $4.99 pack to receive all my units back because I need my units, especially for Cyber Weekend. So that is it. That is the video for today. I know it's longer than usual, but I'm going to stop apologizing when I get to 10 minutes every once in a while, because even though I know it might be triple ads, and thank you to those of you who've watched this whole video, I just don't want to cut the information short. And I try to be as efficient as possible. Sometimes people complain I talk too slow. Sometimes people complain that I talk too fast. I can't tell you. I just talk. I'm just going to talk, you know? I'm just going to do my thing. Thanks again for watching, and thanks again to this summoner for the feedback. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching.